Hello, everyone, and welcome in here to the Wednesday, September 2nd edition of Trending Politics Live. As you guys know, my name is Clayton Kearns here, coming to you every single day at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm so excited to be with you guys here today. So we have a lot to cover. We're going to just dive right into it. First and foremost, many of you have asked me if I really think the debates are going to happen. And, you know, if a development happened today that I think really could mean that we are going to have some debates. It'll be really, really hard for Joe Biden to back out now that the dates and now that the moderators have been announced. So let's get right into it, guys. And the first debate moderator might make some of you guys groan a little bit, but it is none other than Chris Wallace of Fox News. He is going to be moderating the first debate on September 29th. It's going to be held in Cleveland, Ohio. The next debate is going to be on October 15th in Miami, moderated by Steve Scully of C-SPAN. And the final debate on October 22nd in Nashville is going to be moderated by Kristen Welker of NBC, who has been caught many times distorting claims from President Trump with the coronavirus. The vice presidential debate. This should be a lot of fun. This is going to be on October 7th in Salt Lake City, and that is going to be moderated by Susan Page of the USA Today. Now, obviously, the most noteworthy debate moderator here is Chris Wallace. And what can we say about Chris Wallace other than the fact that he has been anti-Trump for a very, very long time? He is always extra tough on President Trump and not so tough on Democrats. I will admit from time to time he is pretty tough on the Democrats, but he is not as brutal towards them as he has ever been towards Trump. He has always been a little bit extra aggressive towards President Trump. Now, I do believe that he will be fair, that he will be tough on Biden, but he's also going to be tough on Trump. And, you know, you guys, at the end of the day, we've been through this for 5 years, you guys. The media was never going to be on President Trump's side to begin with. They're always going to give him the toughest questions. But do you know what? Maybe that's strengthened him a little bit. Maybe that's made him even stronger throughout this entire process. Because, you know, the constant lies, it has sharpened him so much to be able to spot the lies of the liberal media and make sure that they don't lie about him and make sure that he can call things out. So even when the heat comes during these debates, everybody, there's no doubt that President Trump is going to handle it like a champion, and I know that he's going to do very, very well in these debates. So I'm going to put that back up here on the screen for you guys so you guys know those dates. The first debate, everybody, mark your calendars, in 27 days. September 29th in Cleveland, Ohio is that first debate, everyone. And I'm excited. I cannot wait for that debate to come because it will be a lot of fun. Like I said a little bit ago, it would be very, very hard for Joe Biden to back out now. Joe Biden has, you know, been pretty non-committal when it comes to debating President Trump, but now the dates and the moderators, he would look so bad if he backed out now. So, as many of you guys have seen, changing topics here, Joe Biden today was on stage again. He is trying his best to get out there. He is trying his best to make an appearance to the American people, but I don't know if he's noticed this, but it's a little bit too late now. Now, yes, the majority of the general population begins paying attention to politics more often after Labor Day, and Labor Day is less than a week away. So next week is really like the beginning of the campaign season. I can't wait. It's going to be tons of fun. So Joe Biden, though, still has problems speaking. He still has problems, how do I say this, saying words in the English language. So here's Joe Biden trying to utter some sort of a criticism against Trump. And let's try to translate it after.
And stop your boast about never being seen at what you can do anything. You always talk about your ability to negotiate. Negotiate a deal. A deal for somebody other than yourself.
Oh, man, this guy.
Now I'm happy to take questions you may have. I guess staff's going to call on whoever. Fire away.
Great. MJ?
Wow. So there's a lot to take from that clip there. First of all, he still can't speak. He sounded like that famous YouTube clip from that child all those years ago, where he says, you know, have you ever had a dream that you thought that you would want? Joe Biden still cannot speak. He wants to be the president of the United States, yet he doesn't know. He can't even complete these sentences. He doesn't know what he's saying. Words just start to come off, and I think he just prays to God that well, of course he doesn't pray to God, but I think he just hopes and prays that his words somehow string together in a coherent fashion. But maybe what was most important to me is the fact that he is not the one calling on reporters. They have a predetermined list of reporters that he is going to call on. As you noticed, they're not disrespectful towards him. They're not shouting questions at him and saying, Mr. Vice President, blah, 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 blah. They are staying calm. They are being told what to do. This is what a Biden administration would look like. Hey, reporters, you can't ask me whatever you want to, and we're going to call on you because you are our little puppy dogs. You, the media, are eating right out of our hands. So because they worship Joe Biden, they want Joe Biden to win this election. They are kowtowing for Joe Biden. And as you see, the reporters, just nice little reporters, just following the rules of the Biden campaign. Yes, sir. Yes. You know, we will not shout questions at you, and you'll have a predetermined list of who's going to be asking you questions, sir. So yeah, everybody, this is just absolutely disgusting, absolutely despicable from the liberal media here, you guys. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, so Biden apparently can't even call on his own reporters, and that's just how does he expect to be the president of the United States if that's even happening, everyone? I have no idea. Now, Joe Biden was asked one tough question, and he couldn't even handle that. So Joe Biden, as you guys know, is trying to take credit for saying that he was a fast actor and that he was right on the coronavirus from the very beginning, even though that couldn't be further from the truth. So Joe Biden, was asked by Fox News reporter Peter Tucci. He was asked why were you holding campaign rallies in March if you said in January and February that that the coronavirus was this super dangerous plague? And he does a terrible job at answering it.
That you warned President Trump in January that there was going to be a pandemic and what needed to be done. If you knew that, then why were you still hosting crowded campaign rallies in March?
Now, what I talked about was not what had to be done. What I said, you got to take this seriously.
So that's the longest clip that we could pull from the internet there. But so now Joe Biden is backtracking in a little bit, like in some way, by saying, oh, I wasn't telling him what to do or what needed to be done. I was just telling him to take it seriously. Well, Joe, how seriously were you taking it when you were holding campaign rallies? Now, I am offended by Peter Tucci's question. He said that Biden has crowded campaign rallies, and I don't think there's ever been one campaign rally from Joe Biden that has been crowded. So I'm a little bit offended by Tucci's question there. But at the end of the day, Joe Biden, he is just spouting out these talking points whenever they're convenient for him. First, it was, we don't need a travel ban. And then it was, oh, the travel ban is xenophobic. And then later on, he said, oh, I supported the travel ban, everybody. I am in full support. I'm in full support of the travel ban. And so this guy keeps changing his mind every single day. But you know what? We're not falling for it. The part that I am afraid of, though, is I am afraid that the American people who don't pay super close attention to politics, I'm afraid that they're going to fall for it, you guys. Because look, if you're sitting here with me in the middle of the day on a Wednesday afternoon watching talking politics with me, then honestly, that means that you're a political junkie. That means you love this stuff, that you love politics, that you like being informed and you like hearing the truth. The sad part is that the majority of the American people are not super politically inclined. They do not have all of this. They do not know these different dates, people's names. A lot of people, sadly, they look at Joe Biden and say, oh, yeah, that's Barack Obama's vice president, right? Okay, yeah, he's a good guy. And I know that it's hard for us to think in those terms, but we have to start thinking like the people who are going to be voting on November 3rd, everybody. So this is why the truth is important. This is why being on these live streams is important. This is why sharing these videos and these live streams. We're going to be posting more videos more educational political videos on trending politics on the Facebook page and on the YouTube page. So watch out for that, people, because I believe that it's my duty, if I have a lot of this knowledge, that it's my duty to get it out there so that you guys can go and share it with people who might not be as well informed, okay? So that was Biden's press conference today. And as many of you guys have seen, yesterday, Nancy Pelosi basically displayed the fact that she thinks that she is more important than you. Here's Nancy yesterday in a hair salon that is closed down to the general public, and she is getting her hair done without a mask on. Check this out. This footage was obtained exclusively by Fox News. There she is. And there you go, everyone. And then her campaign comes out later and says, she didn't know that she was doing anything wrong. She didn't know that she was doing anything wrong. Is there anybody in the world, anybody on planet Earth that actually believes that? Does anybody believe that? Nancy Pelosi, here's the bottom line. Now, let me tell you a little bit of the background of this story, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about the background here. The salon owner, as many of you guys know, with salons, the owner owns the building, but they rent out space and chairs to hairstylists, to people who cut hair, to other barbers. So the owner, even though that person is the owner, they only had so much power in what their stylists were going to do because the stylists have the keys to the salon and everything like that. It was the owner of that salon in San Francisco who leaked that footage to Fox News to get the story out there, to show the American people that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats believe that they are more important than you, that the rules don't apply to them like they apply to you and I. Can you imagine if President Trump, President Trump goes out there without masks on, but somebody on social media made a very good point. President Trump is the most tested man for the coronavirus in the world. He probably gets tested every single day. So if the guy is not wearing a mask, it's not the biggest deal in the world because he can't give it to anybody when he keeps testing negative for the coronavirus, okay? So Nancy Pelosi, however, she just feels like she can just go around without a mask and, in San Francisco. Well, I live here in California and we're still shut down in many ways. Now, yes, some barbershops have just opened, just barely open, but that one in particular in San Francisco was not open to the public. Many barbershops, many restaurants, as you guys may have known, they are starting to bring their business to the streets. They're setting up patios and tables, even in very hot weather here in California, because that's their only option. That's the only way that they can put food on the table. But everybody, Nancy Pelosi clearly believes that she is more important than everyone watching this, you guys. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Nancy Pelosi and the blatant hypocrisy. The bottom line, and Andrew Cuomo, I just showed you guys yesterday. Andrew Cuomo was out in New York literally one day after tweeting out, you guys all need to be wearing masks. You all need to be protecting each other. And he goes and walks his dog without a mask on, people. This is why the American people are pissed off. There's no reason that people shouldn't be going back to school. There's no reason that people shouldn't be playing sports. There's no reason that people shouldn't be going out and enjoying life as long as that they are staying safe out there. That's the whole thing. And the numbers that came out over the weekend prove that 94% of the deaths with the coronavirus also had comorbidities. So what does that tell me? The implications tell me is that if you're a young, healthy person, there's no reason that you should be locked up in your house any longer. You're going to be okay. And that's what needs to happen. We need to get everyone in our country working again. We still have millions unemployed. We absolutely need to get back to work. And if Nancy Pelosi would stop being such a hypocrite, then maybe some of these regulations could be lifted, because on one side, she's telling the country to stay shut down, but on the other, she is going out and getting her hair done up at a salon that's already closed, and she's doing it indoors when the Democrats are telling us that we can't do anything indoors. So let me know what you think about that, you guys, in the comments below. I do read all the comments, so I want to keep hearing from you guys. I'm going to take a pause here and just let you guys know, and just to remind you to check out our store at ilovemyfreedom.com. Let me put it up here for you for a second. And then we're going to get into Joe Biden's disastrous lie that he told yesterday that I want to point out to you guys. But as you guys know, as I mention all the time, go to ilovemyfreedom.com. We've got shirts, hats, face covers, everything you can need here, pro-Trump gear. So make sure to go to ilovemyfreedom.com to get that gear today, everybody. We have an entire team of American citizens in Kansas working at a fulfillment center, shipping this out to you every single day. We've got amazing collector's items. These are some of my favorite items. Our coins are minted right here in the United States in New York, and our customers really, really love them. So I hope you guys go and check that out, okay? So the big lie of the week so far is that Joe Biden is trying to backtrack on his claim on his whole fracking claim. So all throughout the campaign, Joe Biden said we're going to end fracking, no more fossil fuels. We need to save the planet. We need to save the future generations from our planet being absolutely destroyed. So first, I'm going to show you what he's saying now, and then I'm going to show you video clips proving that this guy is lying through his teeth. Here's what he had to say yesterday.
I've laid out an agenda for economic recovery that will restore a sense of security for working families. We won't just build things back the way they were before. We're going to build them back better, with good-paying jobs, building our nation's roads, bridges, solar arrays, windmills, with investments in our health care and child care workers so they get the pay and dignity they deserve while easing the financial burdens on millions of families. With a clean energy strategy that is a place for the energy workers right here in Western Pennsylvania. I am not banning fracking. Let me say that again. I am not banning fracking, no matter how many times Donald Trump lies about me.
Very interesting. Very interesting that he's changing his tune on fracking in the very state, Pennsylvania, which he will most likely lose if he does talk about banning fracking at all. It's almost as if he's trying to just say something just to win votes. So let's go ahead and show a couple video clips proving that Joe Biden is lying through his teeth. This was last year. He promised a young girl, and of course he had to touch the young girl. Keep that in mind. But he promised this young girl at a rally that there will be no more fossil fuels. Check it out.
But kiddo, I want you to just take a look, okay? You don't have to agree. But I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate.
All right, so there he said it. There he goes. We're going to end fossil fuels, and then here we go. This is earlier this year in a debate with crazy Bernie Sanders saying this.
No new fracking. We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Like, what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipe?
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. Ends. Number one.
3 consecutive American presidents have enjoyed stints of explosive economic growth due to a boom in oil and natural gas production. As president, would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. No new fracking.
It doesn't get much more clear than that, everyone. He says that he would sacrifice American jobs. He says that he would put no new fracking, end all fossil fuels, you guys. But suddenly he goes to Pennsylvania, where he knows that he needs to win, and he knows that thousands of Pennsylvania workers are going to be out of a job if he takes away fracking. And the lies speak for themselves. I think that it could not be any more clear about how much of a fraud he is. He is lying through his teeth, and we cannot let that pass. So if you know somebody who lives in the Rust Belt, or if they have this a job in the oil industry, make sure they see these clips. And we're going to be compiling this later and posting them to the Facebook page and YouTube channel. But just know that whenever you hear Joe Biden say that he is going to keep fracking, know that he is lying terribly. Okay, everybody? So let me know what you think about there in the comments below. And now I want to end off with a hilarious video. Moments ago, this happened. I mean, this happened right before I went live. Thankfully, I was able to get the video clip and post it here for you guys. President Trump was here at a rally. He came across an older gentleman and who was in his late 90s. And he says that this man is as sharp as a whip. And he knows somebody who's 78 years old who is not all there mentally. Check this out.
Amazing. I promised him I would not tell that he's 97 years old. I promised. I'll tell you, he's 100% sharp. He's 100% sharp. I know a 78-year-old that's not so sharp, and he's 97. And he's 100%, because it has nothing to do with that. 78's young. Depends who's 78, that's all. He's 97. I said, man, you are something. And physically in great shape. He braved a torrent of hostile fire while destroying one.
So there he is, honoring a veteran who was 97 years old. And he says, I know a 78-year-old. I know a 78-year-old who is not very sharp. And we all know who this man is talking about. So everyone, that's what I have for you here today. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @CKearns. Make sure you're always going to ilovemyfreedom.com if you want your pro-Trump gear. As I said, guys, if we're going to go to the polls this November, everybody, we're going to have to mask up. We're going to have to probably mask up in many states out there, but it's imperative to do whatever you can to vote in person. Vote in person, because the Democrats, who knows what they're going to do with the mail-in votes. If they see a Trump mail-in ballot, do you really think they're going to count it, or do you think they're going to shred it? I say they shred it. If we have these ballot harvesters that clearly want Joe Biden to win, what's going to stop them from tossing the ballots or shredding them or throwing them in the furnace, everybody? So make sure that if you're going to go out there, make sure to mask up. We've got tons of patriotic masks there for sale. And then make sure you're going to Trending Politics all the time. And as I said before, you guys, within the next few days, we're going to start shipping the September 1-year anniversary edition of our Trending Politics newsletter. It's like the best newsletter we've ever put out yet. Almost 40 pages of pure content. Great stuff. If you want that edition, go to tpnewsletter.com. But everybody, I thank you guys all so much for being on here with me every single day. You guys are amazing. Keep spreading the truth, everybody. Watch out for the videos here that we're about to post. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channels and hit the notification bell so you always get notified when we go live. And if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure to go to the main Trending Politics Facebook page, like our page, engage with this post so that Facebook knows to show you more of our content. So everybody, you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will be back with you same time tomorrow. Have a good one.